ايوه حالا بيشتغل.
Halo Profesor Nasar.
Adanya naik kali, adanya naik, permintaannya naik. Ada nggak?
Hi, Dr. Yoga.
Hi,
Hello, how are you?
sorry.
How are you?
Ada kan? Yang kamu tinggalin apa? Rumah itu permintaannya ada.
في مشكلة ولا ايه يا دكتور تامر ولا؟ دكتور تامر
نعم.
في مشكلة في ان انت تشير السلام الوطني؟
انا مش سامع يا دكتور ناشد لما السلام الوطني يخلص. طيب
نعم.
انا مش سامع حضرتك والله.
السلام الوطني ممكن تشغله لنا؟ تشير السلام الوطني.
نعم يا دكتور ناشد.
شير السلام الوطني اللي بعته لك على الواتس.
Halo.
بتاع اندونيسيا.
بتاع مصر وهو
شغله تاني.
انا ما سمعتوش، ما حدش ما سمعوش.
بتاع مصر ما حدش سمعه.
Dr. Nasar, Professor Nasar, can you hear me?
يا دكتور ناشد.
Gimana kok sebelah uang kau? Gimana tuh ini lo mau sembuh gambarnya apa? Nah, gimana itu kan permintaan. Kamu udah ikut festival ya? Dapat berapa skornya? 500 masuk gimana kamu?
Professor Nasar, can you hear me?
Jawabnya ngawur gitu ya. ABC ini ngitung kancing.
How are you?
Hello.
Dr. Yoga.
Hello.
Dr. Yoga.
The connection is
How are
not
you?
really good. It is not working.
How are you?
I'm
You can
good.
share our anthem. Can you share our anthem national, Egyptian national?
Yeah, sure.
Yes.
Please.
Then your anthem again. شكرا دكتور تامر. Now we can listening to Indonesia national anthem this time. اتفضل دكتور تامر.
Potretnya demi ekonomi kayaknya dipotong kayak aja. Berarti demi ekonomi.
Thank you. But Professor Nasser, we cannot hear the voice.
تامر. الصوت مش واضح دكتور تامر. دكتور يوجا.
Yes, please.
You
Yeah,
can
you
share
can start.
your. Yes, yes.
I cannot hear your voice. I mean, the national anthem of Indonesia, it cannot be heard, but that's okay. It's okay. You can continue. You can continue.
Okay.
Yeah.
دكتور تامر ممكن تفضل ابدأ. دكتور تامر.
I can hear you now.
Okay, okay. We can to this time to start with Dr. Tamer Hamid, is professor in our institute. Dr. Tamer اتفضل دكتور تامر ابدأ. سامعني دكتور تامر؟
Yes, we can start. I think
Okay,
the
okay.
professor, yeah, please.
Okay, thank you. دكتور تامر.
What happens, Professor?
Yes, yes. I tell him. دكتور
Okay,
تامر معايا؟
please.
دكتور تامر. You not listen me. دكتور تامر.
Yeah. I think it's internet connection again. It's Dr. Tamer. Dr. Tamer, the camera is not on.
Dr. Tamer.
Internet connection. Professor Nasat.
Dr. Tamer. He will start now. He will start now.
Okay, great. We are waiting.
He will start now.
Good morning. Do you hear me?
Yes, Dr. Tamer, we hear you.
It's a pleasure to be with you right now. My name is Dr. Tamer. I'm the English lecturer of ESB in the Labur High Institute. I'm just giving lectures of English for the students of economics and business sector. At first, our lecture today, inshallah, will talk about English for economics studies. First of all, we all know that economics is a social science because it depends basically on behavioral choice of individuals. So we have to learn some aspects of economics by starting what is economics. It is the study of how individuals and societies make decisions about ways to use scarce resources to fulfill wants and needs. What I mean to say here, that the individual or the society have to be aware of their resources and their choices in a way to satisfy their needs and their demand. The study of economics is divided basically into two main types: macroeconomics and microeconomics. From its name, it's clear that macro, it is the big picture. It is the total economics of the state. It participates or it involves growth, employment, and the economic state of the country. The choice made by large groups like the whole country economic state. Regarding the microeconomics, it is the individual economic decisions. It's my economic state, how many resources I have, how much money I spend on daily or weekly basis, how can I invest these resources in a way to satisfy my needs. Society, we must figure out a group of questions regarding our society. Those questions starts with how to produce, how to make things in order to satisfy the desire citizens. The desire of our citizens is satisfied by what products we are capable of making or producing. Then how to produce it? How to produce it means how to manufacture. The manufacturing process from how means the raw material, the resources we shifted from raw material into useful products. Who gets to make these decisions? Who are responsible for making the investment decision of resources in a way to change it from raw material into useful products that help to satisfy the needs of our individuals. So we now shift to what are resources. Basically, resources are divided into main types or main groups: economic resources, financial resources, human resources, physical resources, and information resources. First, we should know what is the definition of resources. It is the things used to make other goods, which means the raw material we try to shift or to change its state from raw material into useful products. But there is a fundamental problem regarding the economic state of any country: scarcity. Scarcity means unlimited wants and needs regarding the limited resources. So scarcity means the limited resources regarding the society unlimited wants and needs. Your choice or the society choice. I has money, what I do with it. Because all resources, goods and services are limited. We must make choices, the priorities. What is basic, what is fundamental, and what is considered a secondary choice. Why choices? We make choices about how we spend our money, time, and energy so we can fulfill our needs and wants. You have to be aware of the type and the quantity of resources you have in a way to be wise in your choices. What is the difference? What are the needs and wants? Wants and needs, or needs and wants, they are completely different. Needs are the issues or the items we must have to survive: food, cloth, shelter. Those are the needs we must have to survive. But regarding the wants, they are a secondary choice. Regarding the fancy food, the shelter, clothing, big screen TVs, conveniences, and somehow it is entitled luxuries. It is considering all the secondary choice of your welfare life, your car, your big house, your big TV screen, and all the items that are considered secondary choice. So, trade-offs. You can't have it all scarcity. Why? You have to choose how to spend your money, time, and energy, which shift your mind into a wise state of consideration. These decisions involve picking one thing over all the other possibilities in a way to give it the priority to sustain or to have the resources invested in a good way. Right. Regarding your journal or your daily routine, what could happen if you didn't come to work or you didn't come to school? This means a loss of resources and trade-offs. A special kind of trade-off is opportunity cost, which means the value of the next best choice. How can you measure or how can you give the good evaluation of your next choice? Sleeping is the opportunity cost of studying for a test, which means if I didn't go to work or if I didn't go to school, I'm gonna sleep. This is a, a, a definition of the opportunity cost. When you choose to do one thing, its value is how much it is worth for you. It is measured by the value of the next choice. If I didn't, this can be in time. If I buy a pizza, then I cannot afford the movies, which means the opportunity cost. Production is a big item that we should consider in the process of investment or in investing your resources in a good way. Decision of production is how to get all the needs of your community by your own resources processing. Production is how much stuff and the individuals, business, country, even the world makes. Stuff is regarding goods and services. Goods are tangible products we can buy. The word tangible has its opposite, intangible. What tangible means things I can touch. Intangible, things I cannot touch. Services is performed for others. Yani those communication companies for the cell phone carriers are giving services. The government is giving you electricity. It is a service. It's not a product. Factors of production considers the needs any community needs to make this stuff or to make such a product. What are the factors of production? The factors of production are divided into four main items: land, labor, capital, and entrepreneurship. Land is considering or regarding the natural resources like water, natural gas, oil, trees, and many other different resources. Labor considers the physical and intellectual labor is manpower. It is regarding those workers who can physically and intellectually carry out the process of production. Moving to the capital, it is tools, machinery, and factories. Tools used in the production process. Machinery is the machine we used to carry out the process of production. Factories means the space or the firm where we process products. Human capital is the brain power, ideas او innovation هي ال HR. Moving to the interiorship, it considers the investment decision, investing time, resources, labor, capital, are all associated with the production process. Which factor of production? This is land, this is human, this is investment or interiorship. Three parts of the production process. The production process carries out or covers three parts: factors of production, producer, and consumer. Factors of production are what we need to make goods and services, the raw material, the resources. We try to change it into useful products. Regarding or moving to the producer, it is the company that makes goods and delivery services. The consumer are people who buy goods and services from the producer. So the production process has three legs: the factors of production, the producer, and then the consumer. Which came first? regarding this chart, it's clear that the production or the manufacturing factory is giving the goods and services to consumers. And the first step, the land, labor, capital, entrepreneurship, integrate to build up the production or the manufacturing process in a way to give goods and services to the consumers. Capital goods and consumer goods. What is the difference? Capital goods are used to make other goods, but the consumer goods are the final products. So this is the raw material. This is the process of shifting the raw material from its state into a useful state or a usable state, which the consumer demands. Change in production is entitled specialization, which means dividing the production so goods are produced efficiently in a way to use resources wisely. Hardee's, for example, it's a fast food company, makes hamburgers, not shoes. Nike makes shoes, not hamburgers. This is change in production. Division of labor, considering their talents and their specification to perform different jobs in a way to create efficiency, which means creating or doing the best product from or with the least cost. So different people perform different jobs to achieve greater efficiency, which means the assembly line, you do your job and I do my job. And together, regarding our profession, we will be more efficient. Consumption, which means the use of products by citizens or by individuals. How much consumers buy and how much they do this process repeatedly. Consumption is how much we buy. Consumer sovereignty, the Dell store is empty because everyone is at the Apple store. This is consumption, or how to achieve the best consumption level of distributing or giving your products. If we increase land, labor, capital, it's definitely a process of increasing production. Many entrepreneurs invest profit back into production. So many entrepreneurs decide to invest profit back into production in a way to increase their profits. But if we decrease land, labor, capital, we definitely decrease production. But why would we ever decrease production? The circular flow model. The circular flow model shows you the process of increasing and decreasing production. So firms change its incomes into households, and households are spending more or investing more in firms in a way to give goods, which is affected by many different factors. Production. Production is one of the factors that measure or evaluate the GDP. A measure of the production of an entire country is GDP, which means the gross domestic production, the total peso value of all final goods and services produced in one country a year. It is, as we said right now, the gross domestic production. The world GDP regarding this statistics, it's derived from one side regarding the GDP globally. It gives the GDP of many different states or countries all over the world. You can clearly see the shift between the GDPs listed in this statistics. Part 2 is cost and revenues. Costs and revenues are two faces of one coin. Cost is the total amount of money it takes to produce an item, to pay for all factors of production. But the revenues, the total amount of peso a company or the government takes in. We have fixed costs, which represents the amount of money a business must pay each month or year for the production process. But the variable costs, the amount of money a business pays, but it changes over time regarding labor and raw material cost. The total cost equals the fixed cost plus the variable cost. This is an equation. To measure the total cost, you must add the fixed cost factors to the variable cost factors. This chart represents the marginal cost. The marginal cost, it's an additional cost of the next unit produced. Marginal means it's a secondary, or it is not the primary cost. Marginal or margin means extra. Moving to the profit, it's completely different from cost and revenues. Why? Profit means revenues minus total cost. So the profit, the money you have for yourself or for savings, means the revenues minus the total cost. What is the profit motive? Why you are in business? Why you are investing your money in such a business? Of course, to make money or to save money. Cost benefit analysis, it's a very well known term. Cost benefit analysis, weighing the marginal cost versus the marginal benefit of production or of producing an item or making an economic decision. This is taken, or this decision is taken, if the benefit is greater than the cost, then the benefit will give you the motive to take such an investment decision. Cost benefit analysis, it's an immediate or short-term satisfaction. For example, immediate spending on cheap stuff instead of long-term savings will lead to a lower economic prosperity. So, cost-benefit analysis means you have to take the right decision for the long-term savings regarding the process of production or using resources wisely. Comparative economics. Traditional economics are answered by custom, which means agricultural development, el barter or trade. The barter, it's a process of economics regarding ancient times, giving a product in exchange of another product. It's a barter. So the traditional economics is considering customs, agriculture, development, trade and barter, plus GDP and the PCI. Command economies. It's regarding the government, the very little choice, in private ownership, communism, the state of Karl Marx in the 19th century. He was a German economist and the founder of a revolutionary socialism and communism. When communism falls, the market reforms and many other economic concepts change. So we move to the free market, capitalist economies, which represents the limited government involvement private property rights, wide variety of choices and products. And a very good example for this is United States and Japan. The other member or the other person in this presentation is Adam Smith. In the 18th century, he was a Scotch economist, explained the free market within the capitalist economies and the invisible hand. He regards the individual free many different factors. Moving to the principles of capitalism, competition is the first factor. More business means lower prices and higher quality products for consumers.
دكتور تامر، الصوت فصل دكتور تامر.
Principles of capitalism. I'm sorry, that's a lack of connection. Hello?
معاك يا دكتور تامر، سامعينك.
Okay. Principles of capitalism or basics of capitalism means a voluntary exchange. Businesses and consumers must be freely to buy or sell what and when they want. So it is a capitalism or a free choice. Private property means individuals and businesses must be able to get the benefit of owning their own property. Government doesn't control it. It's a private property. Private property means your car, your house, all your private properties, which the government doesn't control it. Regarding the consumer sovereignty, where consumers get to make free choices about what to buy, and this helps drive production. Yet demand drives supply. Demand drives supply or affects supply. The profit motive, and as you see now, I'm giving the definition of many terms used through the presentation. It is the main profession or the main task of English in economic studies is to give terminology's definition and to explain the theoretical and the scientific concepts of economics in simple English. So profit motive regards people who wants to make or save money. Their self-interest motivates capitalism. Social safety net, it is the mixed economy idea that says government shouldn't allow people to suffer in economic crisis, so they are socially safe, but provide security instead, social security, unemployment, insurance, and so on. Moving to the mixed economy socialism, it explains the government involvement and ownership and control of property, of decision making and companies. So government involvement and ownership and its control of property or decision making and companies. The third figure in this presentation is John Maynard Keynes. John Maynard Keynes, the invisible hand doesn't always work. The long run is a misleading guide to current affairs. In the long run, we are all dead. Or the trouble is people eat in the short run. These are the quotations derived from John Maynard Keynes. Actually, John has a concept of economics entitled the Keynesian economics. He said government should intervene in economic emergencies through tax and spending and changing the money supply. This is done to smooth out the business cycle, which means expansion and recession, the two kinds or the two kind phases of the economic state, and keep inflation low. Inflation is the bad economic state we are suffering right now as a result of the Russian-Ukrainian war. Labor issues. Labor are paid money on one of two phases, either wages or salary. Wages are what companies pay employees for their labor by article or by unit. Salary is the amount of money a person gets over a year. If we compare those two types, this is entitled the blue collar and this is the white collar. This is a manufacturing work with hands, but this is of office jobs. Those are usually labor in production, but those are always persons in control production. What happens when production decreases? These are all the world. These are all troubles the world is facing right now as a result of this bad war. Downsizing, which means laying off employees to save costs. Outsourcing, which is sending jobs and manufacturing overseas, or contracting to outside companies to save money. Like we say, Apple is open its factory in China or in India. Moving to the bankruptcy means the government allows business to restructure its debts, but now all profits go to pay off debt rather than the owners or investors, which means the company is directing all its income to pay debts out of business. This regards workers and businessmen to lose your business, money and profits. The current trend in the USA is that manufacturing jobs are declining as a bad result of the economic state we are facing right now. How does labor protect itself? How does labor protect itself? By establishing the labor unions. It's an organization of workers who have banded together to achieve common goals. The common goals are wage protection, workplace safety, benefits, and job protection. So it is wage protection, workplace safety, benefits, and job protection. Collective bargaining and strikes. Collective bargaining is a kind of negotiation between workers and its unions, or its different unions. Collective bargaining, representatives of the union and the company negotiate a contract for the workers, usually rely on compromise. It's a state of giving and taking to satisfy your needs and to satisfy the investor needs or the owner needs. Strikes means when an agreement cannot be reached, workers stop working, try to force the hand of company, so the economics is down. Actually, I have finished this introduction or this presentation of economics or an introduction of economics. I wish you enjoyed your time with me and it was a fruitful session, and looking forward, inshallah, for another different session. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Dr. Tamer, and thanks our student attendance these days. Sure, our agreement between Egypt and Indonesia provided our students with more field of knowledge in and economic and business sector. Program has predicted the topic that answer your questions. If any student person have a question, you can ask Dr. Tamer now. and we are happy to meeting you this days. We have a nice country, Egypt. We welcome to visit our country with your families and professors. Thank you. You can ask Dr. Tamer now.
Any questions?
Okay, sir, I will ask.
You're welcome. Go ahead.
Can I start?
Of course.
Okay. My name is Aling Lydia Nur. I'm from Pancasila University from Management Department. And now I will ask to you.
Welcome.
Okay, we know that in this situation, people in the world have inflation, and of course, this will have an impact to all people in this country, especially for small seller or people in the world. Will have bad risk or another, and they will difficult to survive in this situation. So what's your solution to them for survive in this situation, especially for small seller? By the way,
Actually, you have discussed the cost production or the cost benefit concept regarding the economic state. Your choice is the best way to sustain in this bad situation. We have wants and needs. Needs are the essentials of life. Means food, shelter, and cloth. But you want are the secondary choice of life. Your car, your big TV screen, your big house. So you have to drop all the extra expenses of life in a way to sustain or to have the power to complete your life in this very bad economic state.
so from here we can get the point that we need to really have extra or the power to economic to survive in this situation, right?
Yes, of course. We have to reduce our choices.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Okay, looking forward to see you another time, inshallah, and wishing you a good day. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you, Dr. Tamer. And thank you, our student. We can regard this to Professor Noviani. And meet again tomorrow with other lecture with me. Nice to see you this morning. Thank you.
Professor Nasser, thank you so much. Take care. Sorry,
Thank you.
I would like to inform you my WhatsApp is error, so I send you a message with my new number. Just check. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
May I leave? So, finish? Mau ngomong sesuatu mungkin? There.
Thank you, dears.
Randy, modus apa ya namanya Om? Boleh? S? DS. Ini cilik, apakah DS ya?
Udah selesai Bu ini Bu.
Ya sudah.
Boleh keluar ya Bu.